I said before the game, he's the best operator in football, Daniel Levy. He works within... What are you shaking your head at?
I'm shaking my head at when you say the best...
He's the best operator in football. He works with...
Because they've got a net spend of 20 million.
He doesn't get... Hang on. He doesn't get messed around by agents. He doesn't get messed around by managers. He doesn't get messed around by players. There's them all on long-term contracts. I thought my centre-back, to be fair, was going to be here. Right?
Why would it be there? We've spoken all day about the modern game.
What I'm saying is, my marking's poor. That is the most horrific centre-back position I've ever seen from a ball from a left-hand side of a wing. It's unbelievably bad, that.
What was the actual figure? I can't even remember. If
29 million.
29 million. They're in the Champions League every year. You've got Premier League money. How can you only spend 29 million? Stoke spend 60 million. They're in the Championship.
Have you not worked out the stadium cost 600 million quid? Have you not
worked
out yet?
This is 4 years ago.
Well, hang on a minute, the stadium's not been finished. It's only even 50 million over budget.
It's only just started now, hasn't it?
Oh, my God.
What is Gary Neville asking me to do? Gary Neville's asking me to do, the old-fashioned one. Let's get back, protect ourselves. We're playing in a proper game against Man City. Pep Guardiola's watching. You never know, he is short of a centre-back at this moment.
James.
You want your team compact.
James, can I ask you one question?
No. I've let you haven't shut up all day.
Have you ever seen worse positions than that for centre-backs?
No. Get that off. So, look at these two looking after themselves. Oh, the winger's too quick for me. It wasn't Sane, it was Petrov. I mean, who's Petrov?
They can't just spend £500–600 million on a stadium.
I'm not saying where are you getting £500 or £600 million?
Well,
you can't spend 29 million net Pochettino in 4 years. That can't be right for Tottenham. The best team they've ever had for 30 years since you go back to the early 80s. Best manager they've had in that time. This is all going to fall away soon. Pochettino's going to move on, one of the players are going to move on, and they'll look back at this time, an opportunity...
What are you advocating? They spend more than they thought?
So they couldn't match wages for Mane. Harry Maguire going to Leicester. I'm not talking about spending £100 million on a player. I know they're not that club.
What part of spending £500–600 million on a stadium
don't
you keep
saying 500 or 600 million?
What's it cost?
An extra 100.
It's not cost them a tenner.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't realise how bad those positions were from the two centre-backs, Carragher and Carragher.
Wanting to go back to 80s football, go back on the edge of the box. That's what killed England for years, him getting Beckham back in the right back position.
But you played 90
minutes. Look after yourself. I know, exactly.
How were your ankles the next day?
Wasn't too good, but you know what? I was in there for my team. I was there. I stuck in.
Seriously, I watched him for 10 years. He was sat in the cop for 10 years under Rafa Benitez and Gerard Houllier. Him and Hippier, honestly,
I'd love to get you in the cop.
He used to have Babel. They used to have 4 6-foot centre-backs playing in the back four. In the cop. Honestly, it's embarrassing.
Jamie.
How do we wonder how it failed at Valencia when he's got Eden Hazard in central midfield? I mean, that is just a nonsense.
Who do you go for?
In midfield?
Yeah.
What was it?
Let's have the big reveal for you.
So, Kante goes in. Kante's a World Cup winner. He's probably he'd get in a World 11 possibly now.
Suarez is a phenomenon for me as a player. He's absolutely unbelievable.
No, I don't know.
What?
So where are the three strikers playing? I can't quite work this out. Who's playing wide?
You know, it's hypothetical.
No, we'll take this serious. Take this serious.
We're going to put the match on. We're going to stage the match.
Who's going to win the game? Who's going to win the game?
Why do you think your team is superior?
You've got 3 players who want to play in the same position. This is the problem. That's why England never won nothing. When he was playing, when he was coaching, they don't try and get all the best players in. You don't think about the team. You've got Eden Hazard in midfield.
It's like you've got your children at home, right? This is how you want them to behave. This is the standards that you set. If they then start to not do it, and you then all of a sudden say, well, OK, now let you get away with that, they'll walk all over you. Hang on a second. Football players, the coaching system today is that Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, other managers, Pochettino, what they do, they don't have a plan B, they don't knock it long and they make plan A better. And that is a different way of looking at it than we were used to, which, to be fair, I played in a team that could counter-attack, that could keep possession, that could go long. We adapted during games. It's different now. It's different.
So
you've got to give players...
for not, on this show, for not having...
We've never criticised Sam Allardyce or people for their style. We've always appreciated different styles. We've never asked a manager to change his style. You're asking him to change his style and adapt.
I'm not asking him to change his style. I'm asking him to adapt and not leave yourself in situations.
After 5 weeks?
7 or 8 times in that game, they could have conceded a goal going through on the game.
Listen, we haven't finished. Pressure come on you if you keep on losing games.
Jamie's little PowerPoint that he's done here, it's lovely, right? Goalkeeper comfortable on the ball.
I think the manager of Liverpool is sincere in not just thinking about Liverpool. I really do believe that. No, I really do. No, but why come out for Solskjaer? He come out and backed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in that same situation.
Jamie, I played for a manager for 20 years who tried to gain an advantage by making this type of argument. I'm not disagreeing with Jurgen Klopp making the... No, you say about an exceptional season. The exceptional season, you came in this building this morning, even I thought this was a shorter season with more games crammed in. I thought that this morning before I came in and looked at the evidence. It's not. Let's be clear, the teams this season that play the maximum games...
Explain to me why there's 20-30% more injuries this season.
I can't explain
exactly, because you can't. You're not a sports science, so you don't know.
No, my point is, let's see it over the course of a season. My point is...
So Klopp's wrong, Guardiola's wrong, all these top managers talking about injuries, they're
Sir Alex Ferguson made this comment... Sir Alex Ferguson made this comment for 20 years.
Was there 30% more injuries
my point is,
in that season?
James Milner got injured Saturday. He's played 2 Premier League games all season, right? And he's had a hamstring injury. Robertson, I think Jurgen made the point around...
He played 3 games in 6 days and he's 35.
Jurgen Klopp made the point around Andy Robertson, but brought him on for 30 minutes in a dead game against Atalanta where they were losing.
And this nonsense of going to the screen has got to stop. We've all been fooled, or we were at the start of the season.
No, going to the screen is not the problem.
Barry, it doesn't make any sense. You tell me one referee who has gone to the... Listen, I know for a fact... I know for a fact, I was listening on a game, when the referee goes there, he is not looking at that screen, seeing if he's made a mistake or he needs to stick with his decision. He is getting told by Stockley Park where the infringement is, because I heard it. And I've spoke to a referee and he told me that's the exact case.
Going to the screen's not the problem. Well, going to the screen, what has happened...
Do you think a referee...
Let Gary have his say on it.
Going to the screen isn't the problem. What's happened is that referees' authority now is being questioned, and their credibility is being questioned, and they're even doubting themselves.
But I can't believe the idea that we can't ask the top-level people in the Premier League to adapt in a football game. And you're telling me you can't give footballers other certain messages. The best thing they can't understand football that much.
The best thing to do is walk into a dressing room for 4 or 5 months, try and do it, and you'll find the difficulty of trying to tell players 3 and 4 different instructions for the same role.
The way we grew up, you can't coach players like that no more. The way we grew up,
it's different. You've got to adapt.
Why is it different?
We've got to adapt as coaches, not the players. The players have changed. Education's changed. Young people have changed.
You sound like the health sector or the education sector.
You sound like
the education sector.
I saw a tweet the other day and I thought there was an element of accuracy. Sport is all about precision and detail, about an inch. Whether it be the 100 metres race, whether it be a swimming or whether it's cycling, we're talking about minute details. There's never going to be offsides that are like this.
We're also talking about entertainment, aren't we? And we are denying goals by... an inch, even less.
The offside rule, but now you're arguing the other way, saying it's all about precision.
But offside's always been about inches or a toe or a boot.
You said tonight's wrong. Well, tell me what the change is then.
No, I'm just saying, for me, the offside rule, whereby they're going from the armpit here...
Where should they go from?
I don't know. There can be a clearer rule to go for. They can say daylight. They can do whatever it is. There's got to be something that makes it cleaner. And Pogba, I just thought, holding in midfield...
Holding?
Yeah, I put him holding. I mean, Matic...
Holding what? Oh, my God.
He's
the most undisciplined player of all time.
He's holding with Wijnaldum and Keita in midfield. I mean, I didn't pick him with much conviction, to be honest with you. You know, the pass-back rule that was introduced 20-odd years ago was the biggest change in football. It was a big change. At the start, it was... People spoke against it at the start. They didn't like it. Now we've got a...
So you don't mind people being given offside by an inch?
It will always be an inch. It will always be an inch offside.
I bet he was the milk monitor at school.
No, it was always an inch. It was always... Precision in sport, it's right. You know, whether it be a 100 metres race or a Grand National, it can be by inches.
You're saying it's right, and then you're saying it's got to be changed?
No, I'm for technology.
Oh, what?
I'm for technology. Right?
So the precision tonight's right, or you think it should be altered?
It will always be about, whether a ball goes over a line, it's always going to be about an inch. It's not going to be about that much.
I know.
It's always going to be about an inch or 2 inches, 4 inches.
Where are you? You're arguing for both.
I want technology. But
yeah, so what was your problem with tonight then?
I didn't have any problem with tonight. You've got the problem.
You've just said before it's not right, the offside rule going off the shirt, and now you're saying you're for technology.
I don't like the point of the arm, the end of the shirt. I don't like that.
That's the bit you'd like changed?
Yeah, that's the bit I'd like changed, personally. The point of where the line's drawn for me shouldn't be the arm there.
Would you play them 2 in midfield?
I wouldn't have a problem playing them both in midfield now.
Can you fit Donny van der Beek in there as well? Because what's he going to do?
No, but to be fair, my view is that...
He needs Pogba to go.
No, because I think Pogba can play in one of the front 3 positions up front. Fernandes ended up playing there on Saturday at the last part of the game. I mean...
Well, like you say, it's 4 years we've been having this conversation.
Oh, my God. He wants him on the left wing now.
4 years talking about where you fit Paul Pogba in this Manchester United team.
I know, that's the problem somewhere.